GPT-5.6 Sol finishes long coding jobs others can't, but one habit forces cleanup. Worth it. The answer's ahead.
Than experimentation. So now we need to talk about Terra and Sol, because these are the pieces that are much more interesting. Sol is the smartest model ever, depending on who you ask. It is surprisingly efficient for the price, and you should definitely throw it at work when you're not sure if a model is capable of solving it. If you're planning on setting off a task and expect it to take more than 10 minutes, Sol is almost certainly the right choice. But what about Terra?
Theo's guidance says when to trust it. The next clip is OpenAI's own demo, polished, but a vendor's pitch, not independent proof of quality.
And this incredibly amazing output.
5.6 is able to take that 5-minute brain dump and turn it into a plan. It can pull the relevant data and brand assets, and it can turn it into something polished and usable, like this dashboard, or a presentation, or a spreadsheet.
This feels like something you would normally think a big billion-dollar company could build. And you're like, we get this. I have my bespoke software system.
5.6 is also helping researchers make discoveries. Here's Bartosz again. He'd been working...
Demos impress. Sustained work convinces. For anyone automating long build-and-fix loops, the real test is whether focus holds past hour 1.
Can go for a lot longer without issues. That said, I didn't find myself reaching for /goal too often, because if the model needed to run for more than a few hours, it just could. I would tell it to go do a long-running task and it will hold on and go for hours upon hours. I've had tasks go for 20 plus hours without setting a /goal at all. I just told it to do a big thing, and it went and it did the big thing. I guess it's time to go over all the work I did then, right?
Marathon focus is one edge, raw speed is another. On quick one-off calls, one reviewer clocked a lopsided win and a real cost gap.
Like for, speed and cost as well. So the record here, which is really interesting, is that Sol won 24 times and Fable won 3 times. There were also a lot of times when Fable refused to answer, like literally just wouldn't submit an answer. It refused, which I thought was interesting because, there's the security guardrails are baked in pretty hard. But also look at the spend. I mean, Sol won 24-3 for these kind of quick one-off tasks. And Sol costed $16 while Fable costed $63. But as far as like the actual capability, when Fable, sometimes good, sometimes bad, there's always pros and cons, but just pure capability, I mean, you can't even argue. Fable 5 is in another tier. It's just on another level. And Sol is really good. I think it's more comparable to Opus 4.8. It's definitely better than GPT 5.5, but it's not a Fable 5. And honestly, I think if it was Fable 5 tier, it would be charged at Fable 5 tier. Like it would be priced that high, and it's not. It's priced like Opus. So overall, what I'd say is
sitting a tier below Fable 5 raises the value question, and that cleanup habit still looms. First, does the price match the rank?
Soccer, in the same way that Fable and Sol are so much better than us at anything involving intelligence. But Sol is about half the price and tends to get the job done faster. It's like a contractor who shows up with 6 guys and finishes the job in record time. The Fable, on the other hand, is like one really good contractor who goes very slow but gets the job done right and then bills you twice what you expected. Ultimately, it just...
Half Fable's price and faster matters only if access holds up. So what do you actually get inside a ChatGPT subscription's limits?
Trying to get it onto our subscription permanently. Why? Well, likely because OpenAI released GPT 5.6 last week, and it's really good. Maybe not as powerful as Fable 5, but more than capable for most of the things that we need to use it for. And it is available in our subscriptions and will continue to become available. And OpenAI is fighting hard. This past week, they got rid of their 5-hour usage limits.
But its UI was incredibly ugly, and I had to rebuild what it did there with Opus 4.8. Spoiler, this model isn't magically perfect at front end like other models can be. It's much more steerable and has less bad of taste by default, but it's still not a great front end model by any stretch of the imagination.
Front end polish is one gap. How it writes code is another. Left unguided, Sol turns small edits into sprawling rewrites you'll have to trim.
Time to write the weaknesses. First and foremost, by default, it writes way too much code. You gotta adjust your system prompts and your skills and a bunch of those things to convince it to not do that, to tone down its over-eagerness to just write everything. This model will turn a 5-line change into a 300-line file rewrite and 2,000 lines of tests. It loves writing unnecessary tests like,
Buy GPT-5.6 Sol for long, autonomous coding and agent tasks. Skip it for front-end work. Rein in its habit of overwriting code. Every clip links to the full video in the description. Go watch the originals. This is educational content, not professional advice.